We begin with developing news this morning. Vice President Kamala Harris is getting ready to hit the campaign trail as the presumptive Democratic nominee after President Biden announced he is dropping out of the race. Harris is still scheduled to visit Milwaukee, Wisconsin tomorrow, but Biden's decision to withdraw gives this trip new meaning. This could be her first presidential campaign stop. Harris's team says there haven't been any changes to the vice president's travel plans yet. And this morning, the Biden for President Campaign Committee has officially been renamed the Harris for President Committee, with the same structure, staff, and cash. And in less than one day, the campaign has raised nearly $50 million more in grassroots donations. Harris is the only candidate who can tap into the Biden campaign war chest that's based on federal campaign finance rules. Even with President Biden's endorsement, she could face a challenge from other Democrats, setting up a wide-open competition with just weeks left before the Democratic National Convention kicks off in Chicago. The question this morning then is, if not Kamala Harris, then who? We pose that question to K2 political analyst Jim Moore. Joe English is here in the studio this morning to talk more about that. Joe, there's still a lot to be talked about. Endorsements for Harris are not unanimous here.
Right, quite a varied response. Even former President Barack Obama did not come out with an outright endorsement of Harris as the next president. In a statement, he noted the party, as he put it, will be navigating new territory. And that's something Jim Moore really emphasized with us. That's going to be the story over the next several weeks. Some other notable Democrats who have not endorsed Harris include Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, and West Virginia Independent Senator Joe Manchin, who said he's reconsidering re-registering as a Democrat to throw his hat in the ring, and CNN reporting he does not want to be Harris's VP pick. So supportive delegates in both Oregon and Washington, after both states voted overwhelmingly for Biden in the primary elections. Now, K2 talked with Pacific University politics professor Jim Moore, who says other potential candidates have a short time frame to decide if they want to run.
Do you want to stub the toes of the person who might pick you as the vice president candidate? If you're a Democrat and you're thinking maybe I would be on the ticket as the vice president, you have days in order to make that work.
Now, the Democratic National Convention starts August 19th. The Democratic National Committee is promising what they say is a transparent and orderly process to replace President Joe Biden. In a message, the chair of the DNC said in part that the process to replace him will be governed by established rules and procedures to deliver a candidate to the American people. But some politicians have been quick to support Harris as a candidate, some from Oregon.
Yeah, it didn't take very long yesterday. I mean, they jumped right on it, right?
You kind of got the idea that they were expecting this to happen, perhaps. Yeah,
sure.
And some of the people who are backing Harris, our own Senator Ron Wyden from Oregon, California Governor Gavin Newsom is another, and Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock, just a few of the dozen Democrat lawmakers that are endorsing Harris for president. She has to win more than 4,000 delegates at the convention to get that nomination.
This is crazy, isn't it? Joe, thank you.
Crazier every day,
exactly. Thanks for breaking it down for us. Other local lawmakers have been weighing in since Biden's announcement yesterday. Earlier this month, Oregon Democratic Congressman Earl Blumenauer said he didn't think Biden should be the nominee. Well, he released a statement yesterday that says, in part, he made the right decision to spend the remainder of his presidency implementing his landmark achievements rather than fighting a campaign against Donald Trump. I'm encouraged that the president can devote his full attention to this work. Now we must refocus our efforts on defending our democracy and defeating Trump in November. Washington Democratic Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez also told K2 at the beginning of July that she thought Biden would lose to Trump. She tweeted yesterday, "My job is to represent everyone in Southwest Washington, and most of them do not have confidence in the president's fitness to serve. They deserve to have their confidence restored." Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden also thanked President Biden in a statement, along with sharing this message. "I'm all in to support Vice President Harris with all my energy to go forward, building on that impressive record and defeating Donald Trump." And Oregon Republican Representative Lori Chavez-DeRemer echoed the message from Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. In a statement to K2, Chavez-DeRemer said, "If the president is unable to run, he should not make day-to-day decisions that impact national security." K2 asked Governor Tina Kotek for her thoughts on President Biden's departure while she was on a tour of a wildfire. She wouldn't comment in person, referring us to a statement. Take a listen to what she said as she walked away.
Can we ask you about President Biden while you're here?
I made my statement. That's all I have for the day. So
you sure?
That's all I have. Thank you.
That statement, Governor Kotek thanked President Biden for his decades of leadership and said Oregon and the whole country are so much better off today, safer, healthier, and more secure because of Joe Biden's years of service. K2 is on your side covering every angle of this presidential election shakeup. Coming up in our next hour, we are talking to Portlanders to see what they think. Plus, what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is saying now about running against Harris and Trump and what he's accusing the DNC of this morning. When we're not on the air, you can always find the latest updates on our website, katu.com.